Hi folks, welcome to chapter 2 of SQE1 window on solicitor accounts, and here we explore double entry bookkeeping. So, what double entry bookkeeping means? So we begin with the idea at the heart of all solicitor accounting. Double entry bookkeeping, think of it as a system that refuses to trust one-sided story, like you need to just go to both sides. So every moment of money must appear in two places, showing where it came from and where it went. So you need to record both sides. If £500 appears in the client account, the record must also show who it belongs to. It is rather like having two witnesses for every transaction. Neither can hide, and both must agree. This balanced structure ensures that the account remain accurate and that no client ever end up shortchanged. Not at all. So, why solicitors must use double entry? This is same as banks, they use it. So double entry is not just good practice. It is essential for solicitors because they hold money that does not belong to them. Client trusts the firm to keep their funds safe, and the SRA requires clear proof of what trust being honored. Is that honored or not? Recording both sides of each transaction mean the firm can always trace what happened to client money. If mistakes occur, they reveal themselves immediately because the books stop balancing. The system protects the client, protects the solicitor, and creates transparent trial that can be audited at any time without panic. And overall, it also helps build trust of legal profession in our society. So there are two different things which are very essential to understand, and those are debit and credit. Debits and credits often cause confusion because people compare them to their personal bank statement. At that point, it's a bit different. Bank and the financial institution or people who hold your money, they look at things different. For us, credit is something that we got it. We owe it to bank, but for bank, that credit is a debit. So it goes other way, and this is how we will work. So once you switch your mind on this, you will be easy afterward. So debit and credit, once again, I would say often cause confusion because people compare them to their personal bank account. The trick here is to shift your perspective. In solicitor bookkeeping, a debit simply means money is entering an account, and credit means money is leaving an account. Debit sit on the left side of the ledger, and credit on the right side of the ledger. Debits tend to increase assets or reduce liabilities, mean that is paid, while credit to do the opposite, as I said. So once we stop relating these terms to our online banking apps, everything becomes far clearer. That's it. Just do the reverse at that point. For example, bank, we deposit money to the bank, and this is credit to us for us, but of course it is debit for the bank. Now look at like you are taking people money, so just reverse your mind and you will understand it. So, what a debit look like? Let's look at real scenario. A client pays £500 on account of cost. The money goes into the client bank account. So we record a debit. The equal and opposite entry is a credit in the client ledger account because the firm now owes the client £500 until it is properly spent. This pairing is the essence of double entry. That's it. It's not very complex once you just practice it a couple of times in your mind. So one side shows where the money is held, the other side shows who owns it. Nothing is left floating in the air, and everything can be traced neatly. This is how debit and credit works. So So what a credit look like? So now imagine the firm pays a £200 land registry fee using the client bank account. The moment the money leaves the account, we record a credit. The matching debit appears in the client ledger, which tells us that £200 of the client's fund has now been used. The ledger balance reduces accordingly at that point. This example helps us adjust to the idea that a credit in solicitors' bookkeeping simply reflect money going out of an account and not something ominous like a bank charge or overdraft at some point. So the next thing we need to understand is why the sides must always match. Double entry depends on harmony. If the debit and credit do not match, something somewhere has gone wrong. Perhaps money was posted to the wrong account. Perhaps it was treated as firm money when it was actually client money. The beauty of this system is that it exposes mistakes almost immediately. When the books did not balance, the accountant or all of us know exactly where to start looking. It is financial equivalent of a car dashboard warning light, if it does not balance, your engine light is on. Except it does not wait until the engine explodes, at that point you should not wait for it, just go and fix it. So key terminologies that we have here in solicitor account. To understand what you are recording, you must know the terminology. The client bank account is where client money lives, completely separate from firm's own funds. The business bank account holds the firm's money, such as fee and office expenses. Each client has a client ledger account with two sections. Client side shows money held for the client. The business side shows what the client owes the firm. Once you grasp these foundations, the entries start to feel much less intimidating at that point. So I hope it works, client bank account, business bank account, then the business ledger and client ledger at that point. So this will make your life very easy if you just understand these terminologies. So we got an example. So I hope this will further explain that how double entry bookkeeping works. So this is a client ledger. Imagine a client ledger where the client section shows £1,200 and the business section shows £400. This tells us the firm holds £1,200 for the client and the client owes the firm £400 for work done. If the matter ended today, the client would be entitled to £800 back. The ledger makes this relationship transparent and unambiguous. We often find the two columns layout strange at first, but once they see it was a running story of who owes what, it begins to click at that point. And once you just keep all these and you can trace all these things in your mind, solicitor accounts will become very easy for you. So, separate accounts in practice. In legal practice, separating client money from firm's money is not optional. We have talked about it a lot. It is an essential safeguard. Before making any entry, the solicitor must ask several questions. Whose money is this? Is it coming in or going out? Which account does it affect? Which side of the ledger should reflect it? Once those questions are answered, the double entry almost writes itself. The discipline prevents accidental mixing of funds and ensures every action complies with the SRA rules. Now let's look at one of the example. Sorry for font, but I had to just place it on one slide. So our first full example, bearing everything together, a client pays £1,000 on account of costs. The money goes into client bank account, so we debit that account. The matching credit appears in the client ledger account. showing the firm now owes the client £1,000. If we check the client bank balance at this moment, it should include that 1,000 and the ledger should confirm who owns it. The clarity of this system is what allows solicitors to avoid disputes and meet regulatory obligations. So the next thing, we got another example for us that we have spent £300 on a search fee. So the firm pays a £300 search fee using the client bank account. The moment the money leaves, the client bank account is credited £300. The corresponding debit is posted to the client ledger account, reducing the balance of money the firm holds for the client. The ledger now shows £700 belonging to the client, and the bank balance must reflect this. The example demonstrates how spending client money always affects both the bank account and the ledger in equal measures. I hope this makes sense. This is once again, it is very, very important slide. So now, what is SQE tips and pitfalls to prepare for the SQE? Students and all of us should focus on identifying whether the transaction involves client money or firm money before doing anything else. Many mistakes come from confusing the two or placing entries on the wrong side of the ledger. Remember that the client section must always show a credit balance and the business section a debit balance. When unsure, ask yourself who owns the money and whether it is entering or leaving the account. If both sides of entry match and balances, this make sense and you are truly on the right track. I wish you all the best. Like it was a bit intimidating in the beginning, but once I understood that how it works, and in the beginning I told you it works other way around in comparison to our bank statements and all. So once you understand this, things will get easier for you in solicitor accounts. I wish you all the best. If you like it, hit the subscribe button and follow us on YouTube. Share it with your friends. I wish you all the best. Ta-da.